I am 99% sure we lost the entirety of the chapter's combat. Which really, really, really sucks. Fortunately, there's nothing I could do about it. It's just OBS fucking up, and I don't have anybody in the chat to say otherwise. So we just have to continue on from here. It's annoying.
Back then, the Norzelia we know was at the bottom of that sea. But a cataclysm
We already
dried up
saved
all
over the
water,
chapter, so I
and
can't
thus
do it
this
again
land came
if
to
I wanted
be.
to do it. But you know, all the stuff in the previous
Crystallized
chapter
and
got
sank
done.
into the earth, the very earth we now walk upon.
Salt beneath our feet.
Yeah, OBS froze somewhere around the conversation with
After the
Sarah Noah and
cataclysm,
Benedict at the
only one
tombstone
small
of
bit of salt remained. War raged
Sarah
on
Noah's
and
mother.
on as people fought
But
to
yeah,
control it. The Roselle tried to stop the fighting
that
by
means
digging up a
that
giant
means
pillar
it
of
froze,
salt to show
and
everyone the secret they had long kept.
the entirety
Hyzant, whose
of the
power
chapter
over Norzelia came from
with,
controlling the lake and the salt it produced,
with
could not
Simone
allow
talking with the
truth to get
people,
out.
Patria
They
betraying
captured the
everybody,
Roselle, branded them criminals who tried to seize control of the salt for themselves,
and trying to
confined
assassin
them to the
Simone.
lake.
Simone,
And what of the pillar?
with his big sword, just spinning and killing everybody.
Hyzant stole it and hid it.
All that is
Inside the
gone
very statue
because
of the
OBS
goddess
has to
that
keep
towers
crashing
over the
because it can't
source.
hold
How can you be certain?
a stable
During the uprising,
stream
my mother
while
broke
using
the
my
statue and
while using my
recovered a
capture
fragment
card
of the pillar
that's
within.
installed directly into my computer. It's
The
so
salt
stupid.
crystal found in the Rosellan village.
But either way, we did chapter 15, the morality route. We recruited Milo and
This
all
will
the,
shake Hyzant
and we
to
didn't
its
really
very
learn
foundations.
much new.
And we would be
Just
able
that
to free the
Patria has
Roselle
a
from their
evil twin and
imprisonment
is in
at the
two places
source.
at once, or is in two places at
With
once.
so much at stake. We must be careful in what we do now. Frederica, I would ask for more time to think this through.
Of course. I have every faith in House Wolford. And in you.
Can't believe it was like it's like an hour of the
That is
stream
the
being
extent
frozen.
of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Roselle and the Salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how quickly Lord Simone's condition worsened.
It is most devastating. Sarah Noah, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he...
He bade me lead House Wolfort well.
I see.
You could always
We
try
must all
something
do what we
else.
can to help you honor that request.
Your
It's
Majesty,
possible I might know what the
what do
issue
you plan
is.
to do about the
now that I think
royalists
about it.
who misappropriated supplies?
As
Something
far
I
as
might
I've
be able
been
to fix
to
now, but I
discern,
have to get behind my
those
monitor
involved acted out of greed and
with a light
self-interest.
and move
They must all be
HDMI cables
punished.
around.
Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them
I could
who
try to
support
do.
the Glenbrook
I could try to
line.
do that. We've seen
Will
this
that not
before. Nothing
impact
here
your
changes.
governance?
So I'm just gonna do it
Perhaps.
now.
But to pardon
Fuck
their
it.
crimes would kindle the
If it'll
people's
stop
ire.
the streams from
We
breaking
must make an
randomly,
example of them.
I am willing
To
to
appease the people.
forego a few seconds
To
of
make
this,
clear the
of this stream
consequences
here.
of engaging in such
I could
foolhardy
just,
behavior.
let's see.
Did something else happen in the
Is this the
capital,
HDMI
King
cable?
Roland?
Yep.
Nothing you need concern yourself with. But I must say, I was shocked to learn of that Rosellan legend. Do you suppose the contents of that book could be true?
The part about their homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast saltwater
Okay, it's
sea.
plugged into a different
that of
HDMI
the
output.
untapped salt crystals
This one
beneath
might not have
Norzelia,
any weird,
or that in order
shenanigans
to
with
monopolize
it,
the
that-
salt trade,
'cause I'm
Hyzant
thinking it could be
fabricated
something
the
weird with
Roselle's
the
sins.
HDMI port
That the pillar of
because
salt Hyzant stole from the Roselle
it's
is
a
hidden within the statue of the
HDMI
goddess.
MHL port,
If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know
which I
on its
believe
head.
has
It would
sort
mean
of a
the
two-way
teachings of the
connection.
Holy State
I believe
are
it's made
not
for
but
charging
lies.
stuff. So it's like
does sound
outputting a charge. That
unbelievable,
could be what's breaking
but
the
we
stream.
have already seen part of this legend
Like it's
for
outputting a
ourselves.
it's outputting a
The crystal
charge
from the
and
Rosellan village?
frying
That
the
crystal is a fragment from the
frying the
pillar
output
within
in
the statue
OBS.
of the goddess. One
It's
my
switched
mother
now, so
obtained
hopefully there
during
won't be
the
any
uprising.
problems.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but
Alright.
left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
I'll have to see what the stream looks like
What? Where?
when
At the Grand
when
Norzelian
the stream's
Mines.
over. I only have like
Well, we cannot be
till
sure what they are
a little
doing.
bit before 10,
None of our
then I have to
scouts have
sign
returned.
off for the evening.
These
But,
frosty dogs.
That's my schedule. We should be able to
We'll
get the
speak later,
mines
Sereno.
and
First,
hopefully
we
make
must
our
put down
way
whatever
to
the
the
Duchy is planning at the
decision
mines.
that will allow us to start
I
the
need you
golden
and your
route.
people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
But I am very low on energy due to that. It just kills the whole mood.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told.
Thank you, Nasally
Seems
Benedict.
such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.
Fate completed.
Roland and House Wolffort succeed in reclaiming Glenbrook, but they cannot rest easy, for new dilemmas threaten to tear the kingdom apart.
We're doing so good. We
For
had so
one,
many streams
the
without
secret
any
of
issues.
Serenoa's birth come to light
And then
with
this
Lord
happens, and
Simon's
I don't
passing.
notice it for an hour.
Meanwhile, the newly crowned King Roland struggles to reconcile his ideals
I'm done
with
talking
reality
about it.
after punishing the royalists. Finally, there's the truth about the Roselle and the untapped salt crystals buried within the earth, revealed in a book to Frederica from her late mother. None of these revelations have an easy solution. As all parties discuss the matters, they receive word that the survivors of the Isfrosti army are gathering at the Grand Norzelian Mines. Forced to put all else aside to focus on driving out their foe, Serenoa and his comrades steel themselves for battle.
I'll just move all my UI stuff around so I can see my own webcam up at the corner of my eye whenever I glance at the chat. That'll make it so at least I'll be a little bit
The
more
remnants
aware
of
of
these frosty forces are gathering at the
if
Grand
the
Norzelian
stream
Mines.
completely collapses.
Or perhaps I should say they are rallying
Again.
there, preparing to defend it to the last.
Something tells me you're right. Gustadolf may have used Lord Dragan's murder as pretext for invading Glenbrook. Yet I believe his true aim was to seize control, not of our kingdom, but of the mines.
Once Glenbrook fell to them, Esfrost did indeed continue mining operations, with notable zeal. Apparently, they transported huge shipments of what they excavated to the Duchy, too.
You mean iron ore?
One would assume as much, but we do not know for certain. They say only a chosen few were allowed to have anything to do with the mining or transport.
Odd, ain't it? Granted, the iron from the Grand Norzelian mines is supposed to be decent stuff.
But the Duchy has access to plenty of other iron mines of comparable quality. They've certainly no need to go to such pains to obtain resources from this one.
You reckon there's something special about it?
What my mother wrote of must be true. I've returned from scouting the Grand Norzelian mines. There were no signs of miners or couriers anywhere. The enemy's numbers do not appear that great, but the soldiers were occupied with some task within the mine. I cannot say exactly how many they are.
Thank you, Huette. Well done. Well, there you have it. The Esfrosti army is scheming something at the mines. Whatever they are planning, we cannot allow them to continue unchallenged.
Then let us reclaim the Grand Norzelian mines. And in doing so, we shall discover the Duchy's aims in due course.
Ooh, a new character story. Anna asks if Milo is raising poisonous plants, but the dancer insists that some plants have more than one use. Oh boy.
Oh, just look how you've grown. To think you'd produce such
A dancer in service of House Wolfort, she's an emissary of the Saintly Seven, but sees promise and Serenoa has decided to cast her lot in with this house. Hey, Chessmaster, how's it going?
And you've flourished as well. I'm so proud of you, my lovelies.
Quite the passionate one, aren't you?
Don't sneak up behind people like that.
Lair
Hasn't anyone
Recruiter?
told you it's rude?
Yeah, unfortunately, the
Apologies. I
the
was just
video data
curious.
is lost into the ether because
What are
no
you
one was
doing
here
here?
to tell me that the stream broke.
If you must know, I'm harvesting herbs.
Broke about 30 minutes into the stream, and I
thought
streamed
I
about
might
an
make
hour
them
and a
into
half.
medicine for the injured.
That would be helpful. Lord Serenoa will be pleased as well.
And I am oh so happy to please.
So the whole
I am
chapter
quite taken with power
the
for
whole
people.
the entirety of our
People
chapter
like
15
Lord
decision,
Serenoa.
aside from us
You'll
confirming
tell
that
him
we
I'm
got
doing
that
my
route,
best to be useful to
it's
him,
all gone.
Won't you?
Whole fight of me fending off the assassins is lost forever.
Wait.
Yep.
That plant, it induces paralysis, does it not?
Quite knowledgeable you are. Did you know it can also be used for pain relief?
This same plant can be both a poison and a medicine?
Yes, depending on how it's used. And yet, people still try to force plants into one category or another. Good and therefore valuable, or bad and therefore detested. Foolish, don't you think? These little
Tell me how I
ones are
reacted
neither
just
good
before the
nor
battle
bad.
began.
They just
Damn,
are.
Simon has a big ass sword.
You treat them as if they were your children.
Give a Valora a run for her money. That was my thought.
Perhaps it seems strange to care for a plant, which is no more than a tool for making medicines or poisons, but...
Minister Idor, about that experiment. I think we are on the verge of discovering how to better stabilize the subject.
Wait. We are not alone. Show yourself! Milo, why do you eavesdrop on us?
Don't be upset. As your spy, I thought it behooved me to keep abreast of important information.
Unnecessary. You need only do as I instruct.
But that would make me no better than a tool.
Does that displease you? Worry not. I take good care of my tools, so long as they serve me well. But should they act out of line, they will be disposed of.
Even tools have feelings.
What was that?
Nothing you need concern yourself with. Anyway, I'm certain my herbs will benefit House Wolfort. Please pass on my warmest regards to Lord Serenoa.
Your first reaction to is how bloodthirsty Serenoa got when Simone got stabbed. I mean, he has every right to be fair. The Saintly Seven gathered at the Hierophant's palace without Serenoa.
Glenbrook has withdrawn from the sanctions and reopened trade with us.
King Roland is truly a man of his word.
Furthermore, during the battle for the Crown City, our forces sustained nary a scratch, while the Asfrosti were all but crushed. We could not have asked for a more auspicious outcome.
An outcome that would not have been possible without the Elfric we supplied them. Still, Minister Serenoa and House Wolford must be given credit for aiding in our victory.
Minister Exham, how strange to hear you lavish such praise upon another.
I am only speaking truth. Leaving Minister Serenoa in Glenbrook's hands is unwise.
I agree. As one of the Saintly Seven, he belongs here with us.
Of course. We shall bring him under our thumb. The Holy One has plans for the young lord. Making him our creature has the added benefit of bringing his entire domain under Hyzantian rule.
But I doubt His Majesty will be so willing to part with him.
Oh, indeed. And yet King Roland owes us a great debt, which will be all the greater after we help him rebuild the Crown City. We will so overwhelm him with generosity, he will be unable to refuse us anything.
So, you mean to seize Glenbrook as well, Minister Edor? Somehow I'm
Still at work, but shit got crazy in a hurry, and let's say you're lucky it's your first official day on the job.
Spread the goddesses' grace and wisdom.
You're at work still? And chilling in the Twitch chat?
Esfrost, until her divine protection shelters Nozeria
Hit a slow point,
in its
maybe?
entirety. That is what the goddess desires, and therefore, what the Hierophant desires as well.
Alright. A load of cargo from the Grand Norzellian mines arrives at Twinsgate. Barog's discovery of the secret salt. We know how this goes.
Is this all of it?
Yes, my lord. This is all the cargo we were able to carry. Our comrades at the mine should be putting the final touches on everything right about now.
And why is no one telling me what is happening? I don't even know what cargo you are hauling.
We're only following Archduke Gustadolf's orders, my lord.
You've been benched because you're not properly trained, and the device to help you work is low on batteries, so you're waiting for it to
Perhaps you may
charge.
have heard the Archduke has summoned
A
me to
device that helps you
Ironstone.
work?
This may be the last time I serve at this fort. As such, I would like to show my appreciation for everything you've done. Do you have a moment?
The sentiment is appreciated, my lord, but the Archduke insisted we make haste.
And did he also insist you spit in the face of his uncle's generosity?
No, my lord. Of course not. I meant no disrespect. We shan't refuse your gracious offer.
Come with me.
Can all that cargo truly be naught but iron ore? I suppose I shall have to find out what it is for myself.
Tablet doubles as a progress report to dispatch and a walkie-talkie. Oh, gotcha. Did not leave you with a full? Did it not leave you with a full charge or something? Or you just forgot to plug it in during some downtime? The party heads to the mines to investigate and reclaim it from Esfrost's remaining soldiers. Sure, this will be an easy mission just like before. We'll bring Anna along to allow us to coast through the mission with no problems. You got the thing on a quarter battery. The only reason you made it work for so long is because of your own charger.
I do not understand.
Gotcha.
There were far more soldiers here when I came.
So it's not your fault then that you're
since the last time we were here.
forced to
Perhaps
charge
the
your own
enemy is
device
further within.
that you need to work.
Likely that's the case. But navigating these twisted tunnels ain't gonna be fun.
Indeed, the enemy may be waiting to ambush us around any corner. I advise we familiarize ourselves with the nearby tunnels before we head any deeper into the mine, Lord Serenoa.
Agreed. Let's take care to cover our tracks while we look around.
I'll be sure to bring Milo, Travis, and Trish along for this mission, since I have a feeling they all probably have dialogue. It appears Esfros has put a lot of effort into the mines. They've installed quite a number of mining carts, perhaps to transport large quantities of ore. Let us investigate the area further, but we must be on our guard. There's no telling if or when the enemy will strike. You might be able to ride the mine carts to get through the tunnels quickly. Let me see if they work. You might even be able to use them against enemies. Incoming air door. Look out! Oh, cart. Phew, that was a close one. Thanks to that, lad. Let us proceed with caution. I would hate for anyone to get hurt by one of those carts. The carts may prove useful in the event of a battle. Thankfully, I have yet to see any trace of the enemy. I think now a good time for us to glean the position of the carts. It doesn't make any sense. Troops should be stationed at the entrance regardless of whether you want to defend or abandon the mines. So why are the soldiers hiding in the tunnels? The burden of defeat would likely be thrust upon them if they returned to the duchy. They might just be hiding, knowing they have no place to return to. In which case, we may be able to avoid a battle by calling for their surrender. On the other hand, a cornered beast is likely to lash out in desperation. We had best be careful. Indeed, we cannot let our guard down. No matter what Esfros is scheming, we will give them no quarter. We must keep going. He's dead. We don't know when the enemy will strike, but when they do, we can utilize these minecarts to fight back. We just gotta make sure we don't hit any of ours. Something told you that shit was gonna be a disaster, even knowing you're not fully to blame for any of it, nonetheless made things harder for everyone else. I mean, yeah, of course. But since it is your first day in the job, I guess that means you should take note of what your charge is at the start of the shift and ask if it's okay that you're using a tablet that has no charge. Or at least a small charge, so it's going to die while you're working. It's something you gotta take up with whoever your manager is, because it's their fault that you were given a improper tablet. The only thing you can do as a result of that is charge it so that way you can work again. I suppose the number of minecarts indicates how much work the Duchy has done in these tunnels. To think they've come so far in so short a time makes you wonder what their hurry is. There were more people here when I came scouting. My guess is they're hiding within the tunnels now. They may be planning an ambush. We should see if there's anything we can use to our advantage around here. The mines were meant to be a symbol of a new age of peace between the three nations, yet it feels no more than a distant dream now. What do you think should be done with the mines now, my friend? Why not leave them be for now? Someday the world will be at peace again and mining can resume. I suppose you're right. There's no reason for me to fret over the mines right now. But don't you think something seems amiss? The Duchy's behavior surrounding the mines is odd, to say the least. Agreed. I think a thorough investigation of the tunnels is in order. Right, and in order to do so, we must make sure they are clear of his frosty soldiers. Those frosty dogs are hiding somewhere around here. We need to flush them out and recapture the mines. It looks like mining continued even after Dragan was killed. I cannot help but wonder if this is what Gustadolf wanted from the start. Alright. Conclude exploration. There are explosives everywhere. I have a bad feeling about this. Alright, let's look up the...
Benedict, these spheres everywhere. Unless I'm mistaken, they're explosives.
It's chapter 16?
Yes, a means Lord Dragan devised for breaking through the bedrock. They aren't as powerful as blast crystals, but they are simple to set and can be manipulated to go off at the same time.
Reckon I'll go collect whatever charges are left, my lord. Just to be safe.
Thank you. I do not find it strange that there are explosives in a mine, only that they have been left here.
Indeed. As deadly as they are, one would hope they were stored more safely.
You'd think the miners would have put them at the far end of the tunnel if they meant to use them.
But they're everywhere, along the whole length.
If they were to detonate, the entire tunnel would collapse.
Then they must have been left here on purpose.
Intruders! Get them!
The Frosty army!
There we go. Bombs are placed all along the tunnel walls, and enemy soldiers appear before Serenoa and the others. Apparently looking at this thing that talks about the, who has mid-battle dialogue. There's one if you have Travis and Benedict, and there's one if you have Trish and Anna when the battle starts. And then there's also dialogue in the cutscene after the battle. Something like that.
Do not let them through the tunnel. Kill them.
But this is House Wolfort we're up against, Commander.
Think I don't know that? The battle won't be easily won. But if we've the metal to use our explosives, victory may cost us our lives, but we could take those Wolfort curs with us. For Esfrost, for an end to Hysantian tyranny. We must blockade the mines! Soldiers, make ready! Aye!
No, they don't mean to.
They would blow the tunnel at the cost of their own lives?
Yes. I do think we should bring Milo for the battle stuff. He's recommended because she can jump real good. Also, the tenting probably helps. I wonder if they can disarm the bombs themselves. Don't think Eridor is very useful here. Why are you recommended? Evasion? Like, makes sense why he's recommended ladders. We bring Anna.
To serve.
I'll drop Julio and bring Narver Hospara.
Leave it to me.
For the additional healing. Should be fine overall, but doesn't hurt to be extra safe. Also, if he has that, we are going to give him Eridor's Resurrection Earring, so he has all those sweet, sweet revives. More evasion. Okay, that should be good. Gotta work our way towards the bombs. Still on hard mode. The stream hasn't broken yet. That's good.
Comrades, we will seal off the mines, whatever it takes.
If it costs us our lives to destroy our enemy, so be it. Detonate the charges and let them rot in pieces among the iron.
We've no hope if they set off the explosives. Do not take this lightly. They're willing to martyr themselves to defeat us.
I will end this.
Go, Anna.
Come get me. Into the shadows.
Choices.
I see a path to victory.
Should have made him hold still. Oh well.
This must work.
On my honor as the Dawn Spear. With a single blow! You can't save yourself!
Forward!
Time to take flight.
Guess I didn't play that one properly. It happens.
Focus. Not another step.
Now it's my turn.
No slacking
My
off.
hero.
Oh, that stinks.
I've got my
Blink.
All right, the rest of you, keep going. Blow up the tunnel and seal off the mines.
Damn! We need to hurry before the explosives go off.
It's fine. Anna's got this.
I shall do what I can.
Speaking of Anna having this,
Make the most of this.
Time for some research.
A cold wind blows.
that one lone healer. Huh.
Come get me. Shall we dance? Delectable.
I see a path to victory.
Crenton, you owe me for giving you so much help.
Now.
Defeat is not an option. I'll make it. Ha!
My stratagem is superior.
I shan't hold back.
There!
Oh, that stings. Time to end this.
Time to take flight.
He'll just grab that.
Now it's my turn. All or nothing.
Cool heads shall prevail.
You'll be fine, Maxwell. Don't be a baby.
Time for some research.
Got another bomb. At least that's an easy location comparatively.
I will end this.
44 turns. So, run over here. Actually, is there a better space? Nah. Run over here. Take cover.
Into the shadows.
Gotta take care of something. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
Whoops.
Choices.
Looked the wrong way.
You won't know up from down.
For the honor of House Wolford.
Ah, I see. Magic dude.
Prepare to face the Dawn Spear.
Magic dude is a little bit of a problem.
The hunt is on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna hit? Serenoa? Yep. And Benedict.
Someone give an old man a hand.
See, he has 2 jump, right? What's the elevation distance here? That means he should be able to jump up there. Okay.
There.
Feisty, aren't we?
Broke the, broke the thing.
That's all right through you.
Whatever.
You are so naive.
Let me heal your wounds.
Allow me.
Thank you, friend.
Impressed?
Ooh.
Too easy.
To work.
Calling the minecart is a bit of a hassle, I agree.
This is everything I've got.
I'm joking. There is no mercy on the battlefield. Let us reverse our fortune.
That might allow him to survive a turn.
Carefully.
Can't do anything for 2 turns. Maybe I should attack. Deal near lethal damage and retreat. Since they can only attack Benedict there.
Now what to do?
See, she can Moonjump and Heartstealer this guy. Maybe get a few plinks off the units down there.
Prepare to face the Dawn Spear.
They're going to detonate any minute. Quickly now. Focus on the explosives.
Anna's got this, don't worry.
Here I come. Descend now!
Oh, that stings. I've got you marked.
We're good. Take cover.
Shadows conceal me.
She'll get the other one too.
Come on then. What are you and your cups about?
Shall we begin?
Allow me.
Start moving the units in.
I see a path to victory.
I don't stop him here. He's going to attack Corentin and Serenoa. I do not want that.
Your defense is weak.
Time for some
That's recoverable. I'm fine with that. See, silence on you would be good.
A cold that didn't work.
Nice.
What would Father do? Death from above. That hit the mark.
I shan't hold back.
Now what to do?
I'll move her this way.
Oh, that stings.
There we go.
Time to end this.
Few more units. Whoops.
Stay on your guard, my friends.
I really gotta stop fast forwarding the reinforcements because they often come with dialogue.
This battle is ours. Take that!
Shall we begin?
They'll probably just end up moving here.
Be at ease.
Now it's my turn.
Well, there goes his
Let
tent.
us pry out their weakness. This must work.
New dragon shield.
Carefully.
Now then, to work.
A cold
That didn't work. I shan't hold back. Your defenses crumble.
Now what to do?
And we can't kill with green mist, so no reason to waste that. Meanwhile, Anna defuses the bomb and goes right back into stealth. Serious?
That stinks.
You should know that's not going to work.
It's nothing personal.
I shall try my level best.
Here you go, Corentin.
Now.
Leave everything to me.
It's just so much easier than dealing with
No slacking off.
Thanks.
Frederica's slower TP regen.
Here I come. Take aim. Victory is ours.
Shall we begin?
Allow me.
Forward.
I shall protect you. With a single blow. Yeah!
Choices.
Ah, that's a space that can't be doubled up on.
You won't know up from down. Ha!
Where was I? Defense is paramount.
We can wait it. We can wait. No reason to disarm it now.
I shall try my level best.
Someone give an old man a hand. I saw that.
For the honor of House Wolfort.
Shall we begin?
I'll just have you hold still so your next turn comes quicker.
The hunt is on. This battle is won.
Is mine.
And this way he can't run away.
Feisty, aren't we?
She can bait out the magic user so we can easily take her out. Also, now that it's your turn again. Oh, your turn came around really quickly. Defuse. And take cover. Best ability.
I shall protect you.
Choices.
Do you really think we're gonna get away with planting that bomb right next to us?
So, it falls to me.
Because no, you're not.
I see a path to victory.
Let me heal your wounds.
From where shall we strike?
Those sword guys really doubled up on their attack ranges.
Now it's my turn.
Hey, I'm gonna join the party.
All right.
The hunt is on. Yeah, this battle is won.
I shan't hold back.
Now what to do?
More reinforcements from all
Wolford
sides.
bastards! We'll have no home to return to if we fail to seal the mines off.
More soldiers. We need to stop them before they can set off the explosives.
So, it falls to me. I see through you.
I shall try my level best.
And hoping that would be a kill. I guess Serenoa can handle it.
Let us steal our defenses.
For the honor of House Wolford.
One more round.
Shall we begin? Go swiftly.
Splendid.
Allow victory is within reach.
Try this.
Sound strike.
Someone give an
Kill a
old
little
man
bit of
hand.
time. Everyone out of range due to contact. Hey, that's legal. Blink.
Now it's my turn. Well, that worked.
Impressed?
Time to take flight.
Alright, you will start moving this way.
Lend me your wings, Ruby. This battle is won.
Prepare to face the Dawn Spear.
I shall try my level best.
Yeah, the jumping party will move that way.
Your defense is
You've left yourself open.
Choices, choices.
So, it falls to me.
These guys just not gonna go. I only have to go in a little bit. I'll leave Corentin still. You can glacial moon them and run away. Set up another bomb.
Defeat is not an option.
I'll push him in.
My turn.
Victory is within reach.
Try this.
Leave.
Sound strike.
I shall do what I can.
Victory goes to the quick. I'm going for it.
Probably should have healed her.
Someone
Whatever.
give an old man a hand.
That's it! I shall protect you. All shall yield before my spear.
Ooh. Took 120 damage from that.
Leave everything to me. Stay out of my way.
I shall try my level best. Stay composed.
I'm going for it.
Time to take flight.
Blinding Arrow is probably the better move here.
Darkness engulfs
This
you.
bout is mine.
Didn't work.
Now what to do?
Well, this'll work. Power of love.
Weaken to my wiles.
Guaranteed tempt.
Now then, to work.
Free.
Forward.
Death from above. That hits the mark.
Allow me.
Teamwork.
I will end this. Sound strike. Sound strike.
Shall we begin?
Be at ease.
Someone give an old man a hand.
I got you marked.
Feisty, aren't we?
Here we go. Cleave.
Here goes.
Whack.
Together.
I shan't hold back.
I was kind of hoping that'd be a kill. Maybe a lance throw from high ground. Nope.
That went well.
I see a path to victory.
Here you go,
This will
Serenella.
serve well.
Move you over here. Collect the loot.
Forward.
Try to empty out this part of the map.
Quick. Now that hit the mark.
Let's play. Like you, poor thing.
This battle is ours.
Time for some research.
Detonates in 40 turns. I think we have the leeway to kill this guy and then disarm it next turn.
Your orders?
Too easy. Too easy.
Someone give an old man a hand.
With years comes wisdom.
I shall do what I can.
Be at ease.
I have to try a little bit harder than that.
Leave everything to me.
Serenella, go get him.
Gotta take it on the chin.
Our victory is assured.
Prepare to face the Dawn Spear.
I shall try my level best. We must move fast.
From where shall we strike?
This is good.
And this should do it.
Your luck has run out.
His frosty soldiers have been dealt with. The mine is ours again. But why was Esfrost so desperate to keep it from us?
I'm curious what the deal is with how Milo's going to handle seeing the salt crystals, but because before, it seemed like she was going to notify Hyzant of what's going on. Considering she's allied with Wolfort now, instead of the Saintly Seven, what will her reaction be?
That was close. To think they tried to collapse the tunnel with themselves still inside.
Why would the Esfrosti blow themselves up to destroy the place they were charged to defend? It makes no strategic sense.
Nothing Esfrost does make sense. But if they were this desperate, there must be something in there they do not want us finding. We must see what lies at the end of this tunnel.
Now let us press on.
Salt.
Oh! These pink rocks aren't iron.
It's salt. Or rather, salt crystal.
Crystallized salt, untapped beneath the earth. The Rosellan legend my mother recorded is true.
The grand Norzellian mines must have been built upon a vein of crystals. This explains how Esfrost was able to cut ties with Hyzant.
As long as they could excavate their own, they didn't need to rely on the salt from the Holy State. They could fight without it.
How do you think Gustadolf discovered this?
Lord Dragan was in charge of the mines, until he was assassinated in that sudden Esfrosti raid, which Gustadolf used as a pretense to invade Glenbrook, after which he claimed control of the mines. That tells me Lord Dragan was likely the first to discover the salt crystals. However, a struggle ensued between him and Gustadolf over their ownership.
So Gustadolf had him killed and ordered the invasion of Glenbrook. In order to seize control of the mines and secure the salt crystals for himself. That scheming bastard!
Looks like we made the right call, taking back the mines. They already took loads of salt crystals to the Duchy, but even that ain't gonna last them forever.
Indeed. If we can hold the mines, Esfrost will have no choice but to surrender.
And what if they discover another vein of salt crystals elsewhere?
A real possibility, if the Rosellan legend is to be believed. But the Grand Norzellian mines only succeeded because all three powers worked together. If this is the kind of terrain salt crystals are found in, Esfrost cannot dig a new mine all on their own that easily.
Meaning they are at their most vulnerable now, without a source of salt to call their own.
This does not concern only Esfrost. The existence of salt crystals will undermine the very foundation upon which Hyzant is built.
Good, they don't deserve it.
People knew that. Then the two pillars of Hyzantium power, the source and the might of their goddess, would crumble.
And it would prove the Rosellan legend is true. If we reveal the truth, they would be forced to free the Rosell they've imprisoned.
We hold the very future of Norzellia in our hands.
Whatever we decide to do, we cannot decide it lightly.
Indeed. For now, let us return to the Crown City. Huet, send word to the capital. I want Kingdom soldiers posted around this entire area. Tell them to allow no one anywhere near the mines.
It shall be done, sire.
This must be what the old man was hoping to find.
So, Our army failed to secure the Grand Norzelian mines.
It would seem House Wolfort interfered. Glenbrook forces already surround the area, so retaking the mines is likely out of the question.
They must have discovered the salt crystals. Damn them. Gather our soldiers, and be quick about it.
Aye, Your Grace.
I see you finally decided to answer my summons, Svarog.
I shan't use laboring in secret to complete the death knell as an excuse. Punish me as you see fit. If you think you can, that is.
I ought to wipe that impertinent smile off your face.
I saw what they brought in from the Grand Norzelian mines.
Huh. So you know of the salt crystals?
Enough secrets, Gustadolf. Tell me what you are planning.
To use those salt crystals to put the final nail in Hyzan's coffin. To free the people of Norzelia from their tyranny by ending their monopoly over salt.
By which you mean the strong will be free to trample the weak. Is that it?
I will not argue semantics. Though it is at least far more human to struggle for one's own survival, rather than capitulate to the whims of some goddess. People have the right to discover their own strength, and wield it to claim what is rightfully theirs. Just as you are contesting me at this very moment, Uncle.
How long have you known of the salt crystal's existence?
I learned of the possibility long ago, when I read of them in an old text from the archives. Ancient knowledge should never be discarded, as you well know, since you had Dragan study there to perfect his explosives.
You are the one who had him killed.
Spare me your unfounded speculation.
I heard all that happened from the Wolforts. They were there when he drew his last breath.
Here we go.
Act the fool, and you shall be revealed as one, Gustadolf. Dragan oversaw the mine. It only stands to reason that he would have discovered the salt crystals first. So you, in your greed, had him killed, so that you might claim his discovery for your own. Not only that, but you used his murder as a pretext to invade Glenbrook. Am I wrong?
Huh. You have an admirable imagination. Admirable, but mistaken. Your son was quite the ambitious man, you know.
What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. Indeed, Dragan did discover the salt crystals. Who else do you think told me of their existence? Yet he refused to hand them over unless I made him Prime Minister of Esfrost. And your son's scheming didn't end there. At the same time, he had initiated negotiations with Glenbrook. He offered them salt crystals in exchange for a noble title. He sought to fatherland and foe for all he could get.
Lies! All of it! How dare you dishonor my son's name!
House Wolfort fed you a fairy tale, and you gobbled it right up because it aligned with what you wanted to believe. Uncle, now is not the time for family squabbles. Glenbrook now knows of the salt crystals. It is but a matter of time until Hyzant learns of them as well. We must make ready to stand against them.
What would you have me do?
The death knell is taking far too long to build. See that it is finished with haste. Do that, and I will name you my Prime Minister, so you may fulfill your dearly departed son's dream in his stead.
Very well.
There is no time to waste. War will be upon our doorstep before we know it. A war to end all wars. A war whose victor shall rule Norzelia in her glorious entirety.
Leap, my friend, completed. only have probably less than half an hour.
Deep in the Grand Norzelian mines lay a most unexpected discovery. Crystals of pure salt. Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolford gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
Chapter 17, Part 1. If Grief Could Passions Move.
Unexpected though it may be,
Should
the
have
salt
all
crystals are
the
now
check
ours.
boxes for
How shall
the
we
golden
proceed?
route.
Carefully, for it has the potential to alter the balance of power across Norzelia. This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold him.
Hyzant will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
She's right. They will stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Esfrost go quietly into the night. Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
What say you, Your Majesty?
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
As you wish. Pray let it be swift.
Serenoa, answer me this. Can I count on you to walk the path with me, whatever it may be?
I was named Lord of House Wolford long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven. And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolford and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzant.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Another character story. Anna witnesses Milo doing something unusual in secret. If I had to guess, it's a message about
sneak up behind me like that.
About the salt crystals to Edor.
It's been some time since a bird came from Hyzant, hasn't it?
So you were spying on me. Did Wolford order this?
No. Lord Serenoa is not the type to have his people surveilled. But as his retainer, I would be remiss not to keep an eye out for those who might intend him harm.
I suppose there's no fooling you. Yes, I am Hyzant's spy. Do what you will with me. I fear neither torture nor execution.
We would gain nothing by doing either. A plant may be poisonous or medicinal after all. Depending on how we use you, you could still serve House Wolfort.
I am a human being. Do not liken me to a mere object.
Plants aren't objects, they're alive.
Even tools have feelings. You said it yourself, no?
So you did hear me.
You should understand this by now, Milo. Lord Serenoa would never use you, or any of us, as mere tools.
Indeed, he is too trusting. He would be easy to poison, had I a mind to do so.
Grant peaceful sleep to the wounded beast. What is the meaning of this?
Should House Wolfort rise in opposition to Hyzant, Serenoa is to be killed. It's a coded message. I only just received it. My master sees me as nothing but a tool. Now that my identity has been found out, my life is as good as forfeit. My master disposes of tools once they are no longer useful to him, you see. But he cannot dispose of me if I dispose of him first.
Then you will aid us.
No, I will use you. I may be a tool, but I have my pride. I came here seeking power that I might protect myself. To avoid being disposed of, I needed to align myself with a strong house.
You're a tough one, aren't you?
As tough as a weed, and poisonous too.
Alright, let's continue on with the goings-on in the world then. Ah, his speech. Let's end with that one. The changing of the times spares no one, not even the Norzelia Consortium. That's a story in this game? Yep. How's it going, Sulfur Sandbox?
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Claris? That Hyzant intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar. So it's reached the Consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzant's help. Not to mention restored relations with...
Seems that every time you tune in, it's starting a cutscene.
Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable. But the rumors
This game
are
does
so
have a lot of
persistent
cutscenes,
that I
yes.
think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Esfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the Consortium continue trading with Hyzant?
'Tis difficult to say. I believe House Wolfort's actions from here on will be key to the Consortium's decision.
House Wolfort, you say?
Indeed. They've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why stop now? I shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
I wonder if they're going to be more involved in the Golden Route. Did I promote her before I used her in the Wolfort fight? Yes, I was actually able to upgrade her to full power before the fight. I was really surprised I had enough material to do so. Let's see. Word of the salt crystals within the Grand Norzelian mines reaches the Hierophant's palace. Okay, so they still send the, she still sent the salt crystal information back.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Norzelian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible!
The discovery of salt
Sure,
outside
PS2
the
games
source
and an
explains
arcade stick to come
Gustadolf's
in.
recent provocations.
Neat. What's the arcade stick for?
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzant.
Salt crystals
Means
are
you missed
salt's
target to her
true.
encampment? Yep.
We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
And her just teasing Sarah Noah repeatedly.
But how?
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Norzelian mines in Hyzant's name.
The Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolfort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor-bound to heed the Hierophant's word. But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolfort en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
You are free to deal with him, as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
Right. Gustav gathers his troops at Twinsgate and rallies them by revealing that the Grand Norzelian mines and salt crystals have been taken from Esfrost. You get to listen to Gustav's speech again. PS1 stick bot because a friend you found a 2D fighter that you like. Trying to make directional inputs. Felt like all the blisters just waiting to happen. Gotcha. Mute, I got a phone call.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twinsgate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolfort is led by one of the saintly seven of Hyzant. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzant will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Esfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzant to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death's Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzant. The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzant reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes. Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. You shall be known as the defenders of Esfrost.
For Esfrost! Oh yes. The Death's Knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolf.
Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Nozellian Mines.
Go. War begins again.
Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twinsgate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Alright. Unfortunately, I am going to have to go, because I'm running very short on time as it is. So, the next part will be, hopefully, the Golden Route beginning. So, till then, have a good night.